Good morning, folks. Happy Monday. This is Kurt Van Anen, your host of the Mañana Morning Check-In, and we are live with the Mañana Morning Check-In. Let me turn off that so we don't get any echo, and we are in. Boom. It's just after 10 o'clock Monday morning. I seem fired up today because I am fired up today. One, it was Easter yesterday, right? So Easter to me is a reminder that, I'm a new person. I've got, Jesus died, he risen, all this, he is risen indeed, right? So there's a lot of hope and a lot of energy that comes kind of with that reaffirmation of faith and things, for at least for me, right? So Monday, I'm fired up. So I launched the Prove It Keto Challenge. Boom, right? So the Prove It Keto Challenge I launched today. I've got a website for that. You can jump into almost any of my social feeds and find a link to get into that challenge if you want to join us for that. And I'm drinking my keto drink right here to help put me into ketosis, help me burn more fat than carbs, and to have higher concentration, energy, and all those things. And I've done the samples and it's working for me. So I got excited about it and I decided to launch a challenge. And so every Monday I'm going to kick in on this Facebook page that I have called How Keto Worked for Us. So How Keto Works for Us is the Facebook page. And I've launched this challenge through that page that links to an independent site that runs the challenge. And so I'm really enjoying it, right? So I launched that today, did a live video for that, got it embedded into the challenge site already and all of that. So the next thing is, of course, challenge connection, right? Where else would I launch the Prove It Keto Challenge, but in my very own challenge connection site? My hope is that people will see this site work. They will see the tool and they'll go, I want to run an online challenge and I want to keep it organized and I want to be able to reach out to, my challengers as I see fit rather than how, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok sees fit, right? So you want to be in control of your own space. And that's what the Challenge Connection allows you to do. Next is the Power Sport Academy. Another piece that I focus on, and I am looking for skilled people to help me launch this program. Now, those of you that know me in the power sports space know that I'm an expert in power sports, right? You know that I'm an expert in fixed operations for power sports. That is, there are some people that are great experts at sales for dealerships. And then there are people that are experts in the service side for dealerships. Service is fixed operations, anything has to do with after the sale, right? So parts, accessories, service. I love to get in, help these folks with communication skills, help them build the relationships with their customers that builds demand for their services, and then give them, the efficiency and productivity tools to meet those demands, right? Which in turn helps build the relationship and all that with their customers and makes it more of a success, right? A lot of the shops I work with see sustained increase in parts and labor sales of, multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that to me is that's the reward, right? So what's your why, right? People always say, well, what's your why? What's your why? Like all these intellectual types, right? What's your why? Well, the why is, I don't just look at the dealer owner as being someone that's getting rich off of a dealership, because that's not real. That's just not realistic, right? What I look at is how many families are employed by this service department. And if I help that department become more financially sustainable, how have I given or helped give more security to the families associated with those positions? And I know that sounds like a super, altruistic way to look at things, but that's how I see that, right? If a shop has 4 mechanics, for example, right? So it might have 2 service writers, a service manager, 4 mechanics, right? Now we're up to 6 people. You add in a lot person, right? We're 7. Then you got a prep guy or 2 prep guys, or all of a sudden you got 9 people, right? Now those 9 people are also supported by, another 3 parts people, right? So that's going to put me at 12. Well, now I've got 12 families that I am directly impacting through my training. And when we can add $600, $700, $800,000 to the revenue of that department, right? Think about that. That's like, if I can generate another $100,000 in revenue per person employed by that department, Man, that is fantastic. And that's a lot of the why. That's a lot of the why, right? So not to mention that I love power sports, motorcycles, and things that go vroom. So there's that. And of course, anything that's Mañana no Mas related, right? So if you look on the board, I've got Prove It, the Challenge Connection, the Power Sports Academy, and the Mañana no Mas. Now, Prove It Challenge is launched. Challenge Connection it's just an effort right now. It's at the forefront of my mind. I want to see people adopt it and use it. Power Sport Academy. I've gotten to the point in Power Sport Academy through a proof of concept, right? So when you make a new tool, you do a sample, right? You do a proof of concept to make sure it works. You monetize it to make sure that you can monitor to make sure that it works, that it's effective, and you make tweaks to it, right? So here's a couple of things I would change. Here's this, here's that. Well, I've done all that. And now we've gotten to the point where we need to expand. And so here is how I am expanding. Now, I'm a John Maxwell certified leader, right? I know that I can't do this thing all myself. I know that I need to bring people in to help me with this. So one of the first steps I'm doing is I am bringing in people that have skills in fixed operations, and I'm putting them on a very aggressive pay for performance pay plan to introduce this program to dealerships in their area. Here's what I want. They get dealerships into our program, into our system. Those dealerships get access to all of our curriculum, right? They're in online. It's a resource. It's 24/7. It's not a 2-day workshop. It's not a flash in a pan. It's a resource. And so they get access to the resource. On top of that, they'll get access to biweekly support calls that I'll host, right? So I get on and I work with these teams and I help them to make the most of the resource that they have access to 24/7. And there's homework and stuff involved, right? So it's like, hey, you're gonna send me a report that lets me know if your numbers are going up or if your numbers are going down. You're gonna send me a report that lets me know how many vehicles are coming in for service, right? How many are there for more than 5 days? How many are there for more than 10 days? How many are there for more than 30 days? And by using that information, I'm able to help curb the resource to fit that specific opportunity the best. Because here's the deal. Motorcycle dealerships aren't like going to Lowe's or going to Home Depot. They're not built the same everywhere across the country. Each power sports dealer is unique. It's separate. It's different. And because of that, they need a custom approach. So I built a really good technical trap. I built the technical thing that gives the information, right? But the biweekly support calls help to customize that to fit each thing. Now, on top of that, these sales reps that we're bringing in, right? These technical sales reps that are going to be selling the Power Sport Academy in their regions, they're also going to physically visit their dealerships twice a year. And here's why. I've learned recently that it's not enough to have an online tool. It's not enough to do Zoom calls. It's not enough to just give information, right? There still has to be that relationship. There still needs to be that handshake, that eye-to-eye connection. And so that's why I want these reps. And the reason I'm paying them so much money to do this, this pay for performance program, like I said earlier, is aggressive. And that's because they are being compensated to go and visit these guys twice a year. So twice a year, I need you to get out there, press the flesh, shake hands, glint in your eye, right? Are they in for another year? Is this someone that wants to continue to invest in their business, or is this somebody who feels that they've met their goals and they want to, take out for a year, right? Either way is fine, but you going there and shaking the hands and doing that is going to help cement that and make that real. So we got that. And then of course, Mañana no Mas. I've got a couple of clients I'm working with on the Mañana no Mas front, working on some learning and membership sites that, quite frankly, I'm super, super proud of. I look at what other companies are putting out for training. I look at how people are trying to onboard people with like plug and play courses, that they're buying off of LinkedIn or buying off of Udemy or something like that. And I think when a company realizes, hey, if I'm going to invest in this, if I'm actually going to pay to train my people, I want to train my people with custom branded material and our own messages and things that come from the standpoint or the viewpoint of the company, right? We want something that expresses our values distinctively, right? And Mañana no Mas brings that to the table. A lot of folks, I mean, look at the heat Coca-Cola got. They adopted that curriculum, right? And they're like, well, we need some training on diversity. I mean, I know how these things happen in boardrooms, right? A bunch of people get together in a circle, they're half checked out. They don't know what boots on the ground, what's really going on out there. They see some crap on the news, and they get fired up, and they go, we got to do something, man. We got to do something about diversity. We got to make this happen. And the next thing you know, they're buying some race bait nonsense, and they're plugging that in and telling all their employees they have to take this material. And I bet you, dollars to donuts, somebody up the line did not review that material appropriately and launch that program, and now they are just getting beat up. When you got Ben Shapiro making Woca-Cola episodes, that you've crossed a line, right? You've become somebody else's race bait. When you are a company that wants to onboard people, or have an onboarding product, or have a training product to get your internal staff up to speed in a certain way, with a certain skill set, with a certain communication ability, when you take the time and you make the investment to make your own custom branded, represented message done in a professional way, the impact is huge. And I'm stoked, because I've got a couple of companies that have gotten with Mañana no Mas to look at that as an option. And I'm finishing up one of the samples this week, and I'm super stoked because I know that it's good, right? You know what that's like when you know that you're doing something and you know that it's good, you're like, this is good, right? So, and that's the way I feel about it. Like working on a project, sometimes you work on a project and you go, man, I hope this meets their expectations. Then there's times when you work on a project and I know this is going to blow them out of the water. And so for me, I know it's going to blow them out of the water, and I'm super excited about it. So, folks, that's my Monday in a nutshell. What's your Monday in a nutshell? What's got you all wrapped up? What's got you motivated and excited, right? My hope is that you're motivated and excited about something that's real, right? My hope is that you're motivated and excited about something that is adding value to others, that is adding value to your family, that is becoming an asset. Let's be more cautious about things that are liabilities. Let's be more cautious about things that are negative, and let's try and find the silver lining to these clouds. Let's find opportunities within obstacles, and let's move forward. See, you thought I froze, but that was a pause for effect. I wanted you to think about it. I'll try that again. Does that work, or do I just look crazy? Hey, tell you what, folks, I'm going to go. Have yourself a great day. Mañana no Mas, man. Why put off till tomorrow what could possibly be done today? And the Mañana no Mas message is still going strong. Since 2000.